So today's episode, we're going to talk to a good friend of mine. We're going to start back in high school and go all the way to Spain. We go way back. We played basketball together. We grew up together, and he's doing a lot of fun things. He's taken his high school passion all the way to pro, and now he's into other things. So we'll catch up with him. TDMS. Today on the show we have Mr. Louis Bullock. So I met you. That was early in the career. So high school, Michigan, to playing ball in Europe, and your first stop was in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that. It's a long time ago now. Then we're talking about the game. The Commanders are playing Madrid today.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let me catch up with my buddy. I don't think people know our relationship. I don't think people know that you played in Spain. I don't think people knew that you're back from Spain. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to catch a lot of people up today on the show with where you are.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And maybe to the trophy. We got this trophy back here today. So we're going to do a lot of things. Hopefully not too long. But so tell me, let's go with Madrid. So you were at Santiago, Bernabeu.
Yeah.
And the Commanders are playing there today.
Yeah, full circle. Just funny how life goes. Never imagined, my journey would be from, Temple Hills, Maryland, or even further back to elementary school, us, together. And then, I'm living in Europe, in Madrid for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, growing up a Commanders fan, and they're there today playing the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, we wanted to be there. We totally wanted to be there, rooting for our team and getting to hang out in Madrid with you.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Spain. I'm looking forward to going and experiencing the culture. But it's always good to go with a friend and people that know the area and can really get us some good access. So some of your key points that you remember from playing or just leaving America, going to Europe.
Yeah, it was it was a lot different from today, right? Because going over there in 1999 or whatever, there was no Google, right? You're literally dropped off, which feels like on another planet, and you've got to immediately adapt yourself because you're there to do a job. And so, it's far different from today. But the great thing is, being able to adapt to a different culture, and also to be able to feel like you fit in or that's your norm, which is hard to do. So something that after the years pass and then you realize like, wow, okay, this almost feels like more home than it does back in the U.S.
That's good. I'm glad they welcomed you. I guess they embraced you at some point and said, yeah, we need this guy. Yeah. So playing ball, different style, or what did you first remember from taking, U.S. style to European style?
Yeah, I had no clue. I had no idea what to expect. It was at a crazy time for me. Yeah. Because, I'm just released from the Orlando Magic, which my mindset was I was going to be in the NBA. Yeah. And I had never been in a position where somebody's telling me that I can't be on their team. Yeah. Yeah. And so you go from that emotion of absolute just devastation, feeling as low as possible as you can, to now taking a 9-hour flight to a foreign place, and they're saying you have to play basketball. Yeah. So I didn't know what to expect, but I had a huge chip on my shoulder at that point. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, watching you in Michigan, growing up watching you play, we all, friends and family, knew your path was going to be professional sports. Like you're saying, you thought it was going to be one way, but there's always another plan. And it seemed like it turned out just fine for you, and you learned a lot. You learned the language, and you met some good friends, and you come full circle, talking about coming back or going to Madrid or coming back, but you're in America now. You're back in the U.S. Yeah. And tell me what that was like. So coming from pro athletics, big time Real Madrid contracts, many years, back to the U.S. again.
Yeah, it was. It was like reintroducing yourself back to your home country.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's just 13 years, basically spent in Europe. And, you know, the one thing that you have to do over there is you almost have to forget about back home in a lot of ways, because you're there 10 months out of the year. There's many things that go on back home that you miss. And so, you know, you're like, you know, you're just, now you fast forward to that's over, and now you're coming back home to live here full time,
right?
You know, which is it's you have to adapt to that period as well.
Sure. So 13 years in Europe, and so that league, they play lots of different countries in a way. So you're getting to experience lots of language, lots of culture, lots of different foods. Family's not there. You're there to do a job, and all that just stops. It just stops, and maybe it's the time when you felt like it wanted to stop. Was that something you were ready to?
No, you know, it's funny, you know, when you're playing and, you know, you get to year 10, definitely.
Which is a big accomplishment.
It's a huge accomplishment. Sure. And when you're in it, it seems like it's taken forever. But then when you look back, it was just really a short period of time.
Yeah, that's a long career. For any athlete, almost any, that's a long career.
Yeah, and right. you know, I know I got to the point where, you know, I'm looking at the schedule, the itinerary, and you're looking at, oh, I've got to fly to Moscow, and then after Moscow we come back, and I've got to go down to the Canary Islands to play a game, and then I'm back home for a couple of days, and then I'm over to Israel, and it's like, after all those years, you're fatigued.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
But then when it stops, you're left kind of empty because you're so used to having to be in places
it's exciting.
It stops abruptly.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of leaning to. I mean, it's such an exciting lifestyle to me. You get to experience things that you never thought you would. Your family started over there, you know, in lots of ways, right? So you have so much memories to draw back on. And then, like you say, coming here, what do you do? You know, did you think about what you would do after 10 years, or?
I had an idea. Well, you know, it was more so other people telling me what they would like for me to do.
Sure.
You know, my agent was saying he wanted me to come join the agency, the organization, and essentially take on that leadership role in the European division, because that's where I spent all of those years.
Yeah.
And I was on board with it until it was actually probably my last year I was going to play. And I had to make a commitment to my agent to join the agency. And, after meeting with him and some other folks and just some dialogue, I realized like that's not for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's only a great opportunity, man. I would have,
It was a great opportunity. And he said one phrase that changed everything for me. And we're sitting there at the NBA Summer League game, and he says, "Lewis, so you realize now you work for the players." And when he said that, I kind of sat down in my seat, and I just, I didn't give much a reaction, but in my mind, I was saying, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because, I've been in the locker room, I've had teammates, a lot of them are, you're babysitting,
Sure.
And I knew I couldn't do that. I knew at some point I may say the wrong thing if a player is calling and, teach them. Like, I was a different type of professional athlete to where I didn't bother my agent a lot. There are some other players that are, a little bit more active.
Sure.
So I just said, no, I don't think that's for me.
Okay. All right. So that led you so you knew you were coming home. You probably were excited to come home. Family was ready to see you.
Yeah.
But you still have an idea of which direction. You had opportunities. You had people coming towards you here and maybe overseas. So lots of things. But it led you into what you do now, sort of say.
Yeah, I always knew that I wanted to own a business. Yeah. Like I knew that's what I wanted.
Awesome.
I did not know what type of business. I don't know. I think in my mind as a kid, I just developed this idea that, that was success. Like if you were able to own a business.
Sure.
Any kind of business or whatever. I think in my mind, I just, kind of had that ingrained. And so, it just gave me the opportunity. One thing that I was fortunate that I didn't have to make a decision right in that moment. And so I was kind of able to just take some time and figure out what it is I wanted to do.
Now tell me, pro sports, that level of competition, I don't think it gets any higher, but how does that help you in business? Starting off too, when you first got into it.
Well, it's so funny, like the work that I do now, in a lot of ways, I think on the surface, a lot of folks may say, well, that's nothing similar to sports. But in a lot of ways, it is. Okay. And it really is about how you decide to run or develop or grow your business, but a lot of the principles of sports you can utilize. And one, just being competitive. So, the only way that you can get better or maybe have success is that you're competitive and figuring out what you're competing against.
That's good. I mean, I think sports does help young people. It keeps you working with a team effort, and it does give you a lot of life lessons to get you to where you are. So a little bit about today, where you are. So that was 13 years overseas. How long have you been owning your own business?
It has been we're 12 years.
Wow, we're dating ourselves.
I know.
We're doing a little bit of that. But excellent, man. Awesome. I saw you on LinkedIn. I'm like, wow, I didn't know you've been in business that long. How's business been going for you?
Business been going well. It's one of those things where I treat it a lot of ways like sports, like basketball. You've got to keep your head down. You got to keep working. You got to keep looking for ways to get better or ways to grow. Can never be too stagnant. You can't, obviously the one thing with sports, and I never really paid attention too much to it while I was playing, were spending a bunch of time focusing on the success part, right? And I think the same thing with business. You can celebrate, you can be excited about wins or successes that you have, but you can't spend a bunch of time there.
Sure. There's some humility with that. Sure, I understand that. So learned a lot along the way. So I'm looking at this big old shiny thing back here. What does this have to do with business?
I mean, it's a part of competition. That part never goes away. So
my boy here is an avid golfer. I don't know, probably since we were kids, probably since our parents, they instilled so much in us. I can see your mom and you, and your dad obviously got you on the golf course, and you still play golf.
Yeah, probably too much.
Never.
Probably too. I know I definitely played too much when I first stopped playing basketball.
Okay.
But like we talked about, it's filling that void, right? Because you're so many, that was my norm from 9 years old, then fast forward to 36, and it stops. But that. You're looking for something competitive. You're looking for something that when you get that same feeling when you're playing basketball. And so that was golf.
Golf does that, especially for the pro athletes. I'm telling you guys, he still is very, very competitive with the golf. So this is a trophy you won just recently at your club. That's awesome, man. So you're obviously playing well. A little bit, if you don't mind touching on that. We talk about charity, and I think you participate in a couple golf events where you're able to do what you like, meet some friends and alumni, and play golf and bring awareness to a couple different scenarios at the University of Michigan.
Yeah, so, and it starts with the conversation. A team manager and I have been really great friends over the years from Michigan.
Yeah.
Wanted to find a way to reconnect former basketball players from all decades, and one of the best ways we thought of was golf.
Of course,
we're like, let's do a golf weekend, and for sure, guys will want to come back and participate. And we kept talking. It was like, well, okay, let's make it meaningful.
Yeah,
like, what can we do?
Yeah,
and so we started ALS Foundation.
You guys started that foundation.
We started,
I thought you kind of just picked it up and.
No, we started our own.
Okay.
It was something near and dear to us because our former coach, his son, has ALS, and he was a young kid running around the program.
Awesome.
So again, fast forward 2 years later, on a professional level, we're all able to try to do something to contribute the fight against this disease. So. We started the ALS Foundation and wrapped that into a reunion golf weekend.
Yes.
And, we've been doing that for 4 years now at University of Michigan.
Wow. Yeah. So U of M is a huge alumni, and the basketball program has a lot of history there. It's I think that's what this show is about, is definitely taking where you were to contribute to help people. And ALS, great program. The golf is fun, meeting people. That's great. So we weren't supposed to get this much in on the show today, but so where do you see yourself going in the future with what your business, basketball, Europe?
I feel like it's all a journey. Like that's one of the things we talk about with former players when you're reconnecting.
Yeah.
One of the things I love to do is when playing golf, you tend to meet a lot of professionals that are in different industries, and some having success, some working towards it. But I always like to ask the question about their journey to try to figure out maybe what their mindset was, how they got to that point, where they're looking to go to, because there's always things that you can learn.
That's right.
And maybe incorporate to what you're doing.
That's right.
And so for me, my journey, I don't know. I think, I'm still in that head down kind of focusing on, building, where I am now.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's something I enjoy doing. So,
the journey. We enjoy the journey. The show is about the journey. Just a little bit behind the scenes. Lewis is a great dad. He's a great husband. He's a great cook now. I mean, he is throwing down in the kitchen. So, hey, thanks for letting us be a part of your journey today. And hopefully, guys, this is just one of many episodes we can catch up with Mr. Lewis Bullock, TDMS. Thank you.